Oh, there we go. Okay, no, we're back. We're back. It was Jover. Now it's not. We're back. Um, I believe he's actually dead. Word on the street. Streets are saying Charlie Kirk. Yeah, Trump ally shot. All right. I think Mike sounds off. Oh, god damn it. Oh, you know what probably happened? All right, give me a second. I've been editing to. Yeah, that's why.
Okay, that should be way better and more clear. I did not know. I literally just found out. Um, I just found out about this because I've been editing a video on James Lindsay all morning. And the most insane part of this is I started writing, not really writing, but jotting some stuff down to start making a video on Charlie Kirk. And yeah, okay. So CNN live updates, really quick though. I wanna look at this. I want to watch this real quick. So we have a little guidepost moving forward because I think there's going to be a lot of this kind of thing coming out when people are already. If he did indeed pass away, I'll get to that in a second. There's going to be a lot of this shit coming out in the next couple of days. There's going to be a lot of trying to make him a martyr. There's going to be a lot of people saying like, "Oh, how could you say this stuff?" And I want you to think about the most important part to think about is how ghouls like Charlie Kirk spent their lives, created livelihoods by endangering others, by creating an atmosphere where shit like this is possible, by making excuses for gun companies and Second Amendment rights, and stuff like this.
The word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage. But I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is
Much to think about, much to consider. Yeah, let me see. Does anybody have a? Well, I guess I can't show the video on here. And yeah, Danger Days, I do feel bad for kids. I do feel bad for anybody. I feel bad for family. Like certainly. Like losing a loved one doesn't matter how, but especially if it is somebody who, if you look at the totality of the situation, this is somebody who's young. Regardless of the heinous shit he did and advocated for. This is somebody who had their whole life ahead of them, which was very likely going to be used to continue cementing like an authoritarian state in America and right-wing ideology and all sorts of other heinous shit. But to his friends and family and the people who were close to him, like that still brings all of the sorrow and all the tragedy you would expect from any other like heinous random act of violence like this. Um, Even legendary. Wow. I honestly, this is the most fitting eulogy I can imagine. This completely insincere, half-hearted, just mealy-mouthed bullshit from Trump. The person who Charlie Kirk spent the last couple years of his life, most of his career, if you think about it, advocating for, trying to get into power, spreading the message of. And this is what that comes down to. Like all of that effort, and this is what it meant to Trump in the end. You know, he's and look, Trump has been fucking heinous about dealing with any kind of tragedy for ever. God, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, let me go see. Let's go see Charlie Kirk. I can almost, so here's the problem. I do caution against people celebrating this. Yeah, Bill Seabury, this is dangerous for left content creators more than ever. Because here's the thing. As much as people will go, rip bozo, crab memes, and all that stuff, this happens at a time where the right wing, particularly these kind of independent commentators like Charlie Kirk and Matt Walsh, have spent the last couple days talking about the incident with the Ukrainian girl who was killed on the train, casting it as a incitement, as a need for bringing back the death penalty, is essentially like they want to live in a fucking Judge Dredd society. And the problem with that is that for people like Matt Walsh, as we talked about last week, Matt had a whole diatribe on his show about how trans people are basically coming for you and they're going to get more violent and you need to be prepared to meet them with force, and basically inciting open violence. And that is what this is going to be used to do. Like we are people saying, well, stop with the hand wringing. This is like, everybody should be hand wringing over this, because the precedent that this sets up in a time where all of these other precedents are being broken, all of these Overton windows are being pushed, the idea of one of the most prominent Trump advocates being assassinated, when you have this group of people who is so averse to facts, who is so averse to, like, whatever comes out about the shooter doesn't matter. That's the important thing. And we have all of these recent examples we can look at and point to, including the trans shooter who was a detransitioner, but that doesn't matter. The narrative has become, for the right wing, that it was a trans shooter who hated Christians and hated America, and therefore trans people are dangerous. We need to take guns away. So whatever happens with the narrative of the shooter doesn't matter. The narrative will become cemented that this was a radical leftist, that this was the deep state, that this was something coming to get them. Psycho Salad, thank you for $10. This is probably my hyper empathy speaking, but I'm a former fan of Kirk. I'm under no illusion he's a piece of shit. I saw the clip of him getting shot, but I didn't think I'd feel so complicated about this. From what I understand, the video, I haven't seen the video. I've seen people get shot before. It's yeah, like, again, I think there is going to be a point of revelry for a lot of people, and I would caution against that. I would caution against the urge to seek out the video. Because, and if you've never seen somebody dying, especially somebody being shot to death, you're probably not prepared for what it actually looks like. I'm just going to say that. Like, I know I was too young when I saw actual videos of it. It's, and it like, it hurts me in a way that shit, it doesn't phase me anymore. Like, I've done so many deep dives. I've looked into so much heinous shit. I've covered so much on of the political spectrum that, like, that doesn't even phase me. Yeah, it. And I guess the only person who has said that he's dead is the thing I'm seeing in chat is that Trump is the only person who said he's dead. And Trump would have an inside line on that, or at least the people around Trump. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like the movies. Bodies don't fall. Bodies don't move like they do in the movies. It's like if you've ever. It's the same thing with the way, like, rigor mortis sets in, or the way bodies go limp. It's one of those things where once you've ever seen it happen in real life, every time you see it in a movie, you're like, oh, that's not a dead body. That's not a real dead body. Because it's different. And I don't say all of this to, like, say, like, oh, like, dunk on Charlie Kirk at all. I'm saying all this to you, whoever is listening. Don't go seek it out. You don't. Doesn't matter who died. You don't need to. Graves. When I do things to support your channel, what do you prefer, gifting memberships or super chats? Sorry, I know this is off topic. Ko-Fi, actually. Ko-Fi is the way to do. Yeah. He is dead. Suspect is not in custody. Martyrdom for sale. Thank you for $10. Fox News 13 Utah live stream around minute 50. 2 people named the shooter. One recognized him from working at a Trump rally last year. All right, let's see if we can find that. Oh, thank you, Lizard Cole.
You know, we've had yet another, again, politically charged event that has ended in a death, the No Kings protests, which was that 2-3 months ago, in which someone who was just
this clip as a
innocent and there to be a part of the protest was killed, Afa Alou.
Yeah.
You've worked in or dabbled in politics here in Utah.
Yeah,
You've covered politics. You know, how do you feel like this has affected the political climate here, or how do you think?
Well, the rhetoric in general. I mean, this is who.
From what was happening, as this was, from what we're kind of seeing from videos.
Yeah.
Let me ask about the event itself. How many people were in attendance? How big was that crowd? You said you were about second row, right?
Yeah, we were second row. Before the event, I was actually looking at my friend right next to me. It wasn't him, and I was saying, you know, there's got to be security here. You know, he's at the bottom of this.
I don't think it was. There are any other victims at this time that I've heard
security.
about.
Like, there's crazy people here.
Yeah.
There's tons of conservatives, tons of supporters, like, you know, a lot of us, but there were also a lot of people that you could tell didn't like him. And I'm saying, you know, this is crazy. I actually mentioned, like, what if something really, like, crazy happened right now? What if he got shot?
Jesus.
I just said, didn't I?
Yeah, shot came from a building 200 yards away.
Sure enough, it happened.
Yeah. What was your kind of perspective of everything as everything was happening?
So I was with my brother and his best friend Ethan. Oh man, I just thought it was gonna be like a fun event, and you know, you see Charlie Kirk all over social media.
There is something to be said about this. Well, whatever. I don't want to. I don't want to speculate. When people are in a state of shock, that's Alex Jones shit. So, Yeah, never mind. I take it back.
And man, just you hear the pop, and then you just see like hit his chest, and then just blood squirted out of him all over the table. And then he just fell over, and I just like I'm shaking, and I didn't get to the ground at very first because that just wasn't my reaction. And then my brother pulled me down, and he put his body on top of me. And then Ethan came and put his body on top of me, and everything just happened so fast. And
see, we're not going to watch the video of Charlie Kirk getting
saying
shot.
Get down. It just didn't feel real in the moment, especially like the blood. I'm still really shaken up. I mean, it happened like 40 minutes ago. So.
Athena Reigns, thank you for $10. Friendly reminder, do
you
not
were,
Fed post.
If you can, pull out your phone really quick. I'd like to just, if you can, give me some highlights of the email that was sent out. We know the campus is closed right now, but that got sent out maybe 10 minutes ago or so?
Yeah, so basically, I got a text, so I'm on their text chain. So about 15 minutes after it happened, they sent out an alert that said a single shot was fired on campus toward a visiting speaker. And then about an hour after that, they sent out the campus closed alert. And I think it should have been quicker, personally. I'm shocked it took that long to kind of send that out.
Yeah, and we have, as we've been standing here, heard some sporadic sirens of we're not sure if they're police, if they're, EMS officials. We have heard some sporadic sirens. This is about as close as we can get to the campus, but, and we'll go ahead and show you again as we continue talking to these folks that, this is gridlocked. There is no getting out of this parking lot
Megyn
soon,
Kelly called it trans activist violence.
I mean, it's bad enough on regular days. On a day like this, it will probably take us several hours to get our cars out of here. If that.
I hope I can go home and sleep tonight.
Yeah. We'll probably be sleeping in the building.
You can see all over your back where we got down.
Oh wow, yeah, you totally can. Back. Yeah, you hit the ground really, really quickly. So you just essentially got.
So a student in my class raises her hand and says, "Can I leave? I think there's a shooter on campus." And so my teacher dismisses everyone, and so I just see through the windows students pouring out of the building. So I just try to get to my car as fast as I can, and I have just been calling family members and just telling them that I'm okay, and I just feel terrible, like something.
Yeah, you can see behind me, obviously the entrance to Utah Valley University, still a very large police presence. A few people who were there and saw what happened are joining me. Your name?
Angie Martin.
And yours, sir?
Darren Brunson.
And what did you see?
So I went towards the doors and heard a crack. Because of my past experience in law enforcement, I knew it was a gun. And then I tucked behind the corner, and all the crowd started racing out. And
called me and told me there was an active shooter situation, so I just grabbed my stuff and headed this way.
Now you're on a motorcycle.
Yep, I'm on a motorcycle. So
yeah.
Gonna have to zip through traffic and find him. So he's on his way to meet me right now.
Tell me what went through your heart when you heard
happened. So describe what you saw to our viewers.
Just from the that very top step of everything, we were like the second people. We were behind like one layer of people, I guess you could say with that. But like right where I was, it was shorter people below us. Like I just had straight
So there was apparently a suspect who was arrested and released.
We were just listening to a question. He wasn't even speaking himself.
So I guess the shooter is still at large, which is if they don't even have a.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere you just saw cotton fly off his shirt and everything.
It is fucking insane that they don't even have a lead. Granted, things are still developing,
Yeah, not seconds, but following that,
What was the reaction of the crowd at that?
Immediately, everybody just trampled all over everyone. It was really sad. I saw this girl on the floor. People were just stepping on her because everyone was just trying to get out of there. As soon as it happened, I had to make sure I saw these guys.
Do we have any confirmation of there being anybody else injured?
Everyone just if you look in the buildings, people trampled.
That was them,
old
lady.
Inside.
Okay.
I saw people left their shoes, left their bags, their backpacks. Everyone just wanted to get away from that horrific sight.
You were saying you had a.
Sure, when we went down and bust down to Arizona to help on the Trump campaign.
So he was on the trip with you?
Yes, on the bus.
Okay,
speaking to
I
hundreds,
want to watch
perhaps
this part
thousands
because Martyrdom
of
for
people
Sale
at
is
an
saying that
amphitheater,
this has
at
a mention of
UVU.
who it might have
My
been.
past experience in law enforcement, I knew it was a gun. And then I tucked behind the corner and all the crowd started racing out. And after I saw the picture of who it was, I recognized him as to be George Zim, which I know him from Turning Point USA from last year when we went down and bussed down to Arizona to help on the Trump campaign.
So he was on the trip with you?
Yes, on the bus.
And that's the person you say you saw taken into custody?
That's what it appeared to be. From a distance, it appeared to be him, which I had some bad vibes about him when I was on the bus with him, and even text several people saying that he was making me feel very uncomfortable.
You, sir, what did you see?
Okay, yeah, I was there and I watched the shooting. It looked like that he got hit. A direct shot right to the heart. As soon as he was hit, he fell backwards, went to the side. The audience went to their knees. I stayed up a little bit because I wanted to see if anyone saw the shooting, if they would jump all over the guy. I saw nothing like that. The crowd was pushing me so that I went
So he wasn't in the
backstage.
crowd.
And they were going around me, and I stayed a little bit backstage, and I turned and looked, and they were arresting a guy by the name of George Zim. Yeah, I know the guy. I don't think he did it. I think they arrested the wrong guy. I think whoever did it was a good shooter, a sharp shooter. It was one shot right directly to the heart, and we need to find out who did this. I think there should be a research completely done.
What I have heard is in the
hours,
neck. I haven't heard the heart before.
Anything went
again,
on.
so here's the thing to remember. For people who are on the ground getting interviewed, if you are in a situation like this, these are not things that you expect to happen day to day. You know, in America, maybe we should be more expectant of it, where everybody can just own a gun and there's no health care and they're stripping everybody of money and rights and opportunity and all this stuff. Maybe you should expect it more. But generally, in the words of a video game character, the healthy human mind doesn't wake up thinking it's your last day on Earth. And I think that puts a lot of people into these states of shock. And I think you can already see just from the people that have been interviewed so far. This is why I didn't want to like poke fun at the dude at the beginning who was seeming, I don't know, he seemed very jovial and like smiling about it. Because there is a wide spectrum of how people try to relieve their own stress, how they process stress, both before, during, after. And we are like, we're kind of seeing that full spectrum here. And I think that's like, he was shot seconds after being asked a question about trans people. Shot was between 10 and 2 o'clock, somewhere behind the crowd, based on the shot. Yeah, I figured it was like behind. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Like, and I talked about this. I know more people have kind of trickled in, but I don't want to see the video. And like, honestly, you shouldn't either. Do I think the shooter was trans? I have no idea. It could have been a total coincidence that like here's the thing. Every one of these events, like, there are always going to be, like, it's a culture war event. Like, that's what they go there for, to rally their base, to talk about the issues that are keeping their base distracted. So it's always, it's culture war bullshit. It's stuff like trans issues. It's stuff like, you know, I'm sure they asked a question about the subway killing recently. Like, it absolutely could be a total coincidence. No live stream on for a TPUSA event. I think probably not. Like, I don't keep up with TPUSA, but with the amount of shit that they do, I'm sure that they were recording it for later so they can post their TikToks and post their reels of Charlie Kirk owning people. I guess not anymore. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was the tactic they took. Charlie's last words were gang violence. Like all I can really think about is I don't know. It's this weird feeling of like I never met Charlie Kirk, I never interacted, I didn't know him. But there is this feeling of not being a peer, but being kind of in the same relative space on opposite sides. Obviously, I have nowhere near the platform he did. But it's this weird feeling of like I was just scouring through a shit ton of his videos for clips for the nostalgia video I put out. And it was just nonstop clips of him talking about how, you know, we need to accept that there are certain, quote unquote, certain communities that are just more animalistic and they need to be ostracized, and like we need to go back to having no immigration because we need, like, just advocating for an ethno-state. And that's kind of all I can think of now. I've been thinking of Kirk Cameron this whole time. That is an insane mix-up. Solar Lander, thank you for 22 months in a row. Yeah, Jesus, let's see if Trump has said anything else. Because I am wondering how many... Like, it's got to be that they got to be playing the hits half-mast for Charlie Kirk, a truly great American patriot. If, look, I'm not, I started off the stream by being like, I'm not gonna, where the fuck, how do you, I can't even see replies. God, this is such a stupid fucking website. Yeah, let's, Charlie Kirk assassinated. Charlie Kirk murdered, the unraveling of America. Nehemiah, thank you for $2. NYT said a spokesperson confirmed he's dead. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Unconscionable. That's a good statement from AOC. We love a good convicted centrist. Crazy. It's going to be, the next couple days are going to be a lot of shit like this. It is going to be, and you know what? I have a really hard time saying anything against this, because if you live as a propagandist, if your existence, your literal job, your purpose that you have claimed in life, the direction that you have decided to go in, is to just play interference between these demagogues and ideologues and an audience that you are constantly trying to indoctrinate, which is the goal of TPUSA, by the way. It was funded by conservative dark money and think tanks to literally go after America's youth. And when something like this happens to you, It's a side effect of the world you've created, a world that you've helped to create. I'm not praising, I'm not saying it's good. I wish none of it did. Why are so many people rejecting the idea he died? I do not know. What do you mean? Graves, thank you for $10. Have to figure it out after I pick my daughter. I appreciate it. Honestly, I appreciate all helping. Like, every donation helps. Come on.
Through having more fathers in the home.
Yes.
By
God, I fucking hate Twitter's player. It's always so loud.
having more armed guards in front of schools. We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. Wow. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe.
Like, no, yeah, porcelain giant. I don't condone it, obviously, but like it is the most live by the sword, die by the sword shit I've ever seen. And by the way, as the narrative is going to evolve, because we all know where this is going, it is going to be saying that, oh, Democrats did this, liberals did this, the left wants more open violence. But, like, the people that they also at the same time are calling, like, the figureheads of the left, like AOC and Biden, are out here being like, we are praying for them. Best wishes to them. Oh, no, the question wasn't trans related. Ban Osama bin Guapo on YouTube. Video posted on social media shows the moment Charlie Kirk was shot, seconds leading to the incident. Kirk was being asked about mass shootings in America. Already saying it was a trans person? No, and this was the man who was detained and put away. Thank you, Jenny. Three in critical condition 16 minutes ago. Within like an hour, there's another school shooting in America. Are we still gonna buy into the idea that, oh no, it's just political ideology that's the problem? Not the like culture of rampant violence that are constantly stoked by people like Charlie Kirk? Like, within an hour of a political assassination, there is also a school shooting in America. Which is, unfortunately, again, probably a fucking evergreen statement. Ram Shicklid, $5, thank you. Jezebel put out an article 2 days ago about hiring Etsy wishes to curse Kirk. JJ, you're disgusting. Okay, dude. Oh, it's the mainstream media that keeps spreading division. Okay. Martian race. Leftists, be ready. We doesn't forgive you. Okay. Get reported. Reported for what? Reported for what? You aren't even watching. You haven't even watched the stream. Reported for all the time already that I've said don't celebrate this. Reported for all the time I said don't go looking for the video. Reported for the time that I'm just analyzing the political structure of what's happening and how this is going to affect everyone. Like what? Yeah, he's dead. He's dead, which is trending in the United States. Holy fuck. I can't. I'm having a little bit. The news said it was about transgender mass shooters. I need a lot more fucking Thank you, PRB. I get all my news from PRB. Thank you, everybody who's following. I'm not going to be reading out names and stuff. And like no jokes right now. Like save them for your Twitter. Like save them for save them for everything else. Justice outcry. That's not what it's fueling. All right. I want to see the unraveling. No, let's go this real quick. Are we? Is it not coming in, or is nobody?
The shot came from that targeted Charlie Kirk. If this is the area, and then I'm trying to see. Give me one.
Did you say 375 feet?
Yeah, 375 feet, which is not long.
Wow.
It looks where you can kind of see afterwards.
Yeah, it's fucking this dumbass thing doesn't even fucking work. Thanks, Elon. Whatever. What the hell is Palantir? is it really an assassination? What qualifies as assassination? I would say if it's politically motivated, which like Charlie Kirk is one of the most prominent conservative political commentators, has been for like a decade.
2 to 3.
Go. Like
I did a bit of a
what are the odds that
recce
he
on
was the only one
parade
person
square,
shot
the
at this event? Like,
grounds,
and I feel
unless the person was in the audience or the crowd, it would have been a little further back in one of
clearly a political move.
ancillary,
I don't
like
know
the
why.
buildings that were close to it. That's why I figured that, right? Because it didn't seem.
Remember,
James Rest, Nick Fuentes is the future.
It's the recording device of the piece of film that I watched.
Needed a good joke.
Measured
Thanks,
the crack
dude.
and thump from the recording device. The recording device. They
Future
were
of what?
about
His mom's basement.
round traveling with a round traveling faster than the speed of sound.
The AP is reporting.
All right, I can't even. God, what a fucking shit program. Yeah, let's see. Are there groypers in the chat? There's 1,500. I'm seeing 1,500 people on my end. There's probably groypers in the chat. All right, I'm gonna go see what the regular Googles are saying. Cause what do we want to bet that there's gonna be some calls for violence before the hour's up, if not already. All Charlie ever All Charlie ever did was have conversations with people. He didn't insult anyone. He made arguments. He wasn't an extremist in any way. They still killed him. They, like, already spreading the fucking conspiracies. I always worried that it would come to this eventually. Dog. Meanwhile, if you scroll down just a little bit, Matt has been spending days talking about how people need to die, how we need to bring back the death penalty. Jesse Waters saying the same. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse Waters just chat GPT to shit. That dude has no personality. I doubt he has an internal monologue. Yeah, like he never insulted anyone is such a fucking wild thing to say. Yep, he is dead. Is this actually? Yeah, no, this is apparently Waters. What does he have a non Fox News one? Because this is shit, dude. Why is they're at war with us? Yep, already seeing the.
They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars. They just shot 2 Jews outside the embassy. Think about it. Scalise got shot, barely survived. It's happening. You got trans shooters, you got riots in LA. They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate?
How much political violence are we going to talk about? And tolerate. And there you go. That's the game. That is the utility of Charlie Kirk to these people. Is another stepping stone on justifying the political violence that, by the way, the conservative movement has already been advocating for. Like literally, go to Matt Walsh's page, scroll back, see how he's been hammering on how we need to start killing people basically in the fucking streets for petty crimes. Thank you very much, Generation Y Me. This calls for spending money. I appreciate it. Yeah, trans shooter.
And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible.
He would want us to advocate violence, advocate pushing back. That's crazy. That's, dude isn't even cold yet, and they're writing his will and testament publicly to be like, yeah, Charlie would want us to use him to justify like open violence.
Dana nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop. And it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what. The politicians, the media, and all these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Greg's right again. This is a turning point. And we know which direction we're going.
Joe Lennox, thank you very much for $10 capitalism, ho. Do you think Kirk would support the Second Amendment if he lived? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, if he had lived through it, yeah. Like, that's still his fucking prerogative. You know what he would have done? He would have just gotten more security for his events. That's what he would have done. And this, by the way, from the same contingent that, again, whenever there is a mass shooting, whenever there is a tragedy, whenever there is a side effect from all the shit that they've, put America through the ringer with, their first reaction is, well, why do you got to make the shooting political? If it's a white supremacist shooter that mows down a black church, well, why do you got to make it political? We do not know who shot Charlie Kirk still. We don't know what their ideology was. It could be any number of things. I'm willing to bet it's probably another completely incoherent, deep internet brained, like, goon. But the second his body hit the ground, they were making it political. You guys are sick. Okay, Heartless J. Joxel, thank you very much. It is funny to me how, and I if I'm remembering correctly, this happened last year when Trump was shot at. I had a lot of people coming into my chat being like, "Oh, you're such a sicko!" Like you aren't even listening to what I'm saying. You just look at me and you're like, "Oh, well, this is a leftist libcuck." It's like, maybe listen to my words instead of just inserting your own agenda into my mouth or whatever the fuck you think you're doing. $5 from Laser Space Ninja. Quote, they are gearing up to round trans people up. I'm so sick to my stomach. Please tell me everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. Brian G. Kristallnacht was preceded by an assassination too. I don't know if y'all are fans of... I don't know if there's any fans of history in here. Yeah, Jesse Waters. Oh, Fox News, Jesse Waters, we're going to avenge Kirk's death. Great. These people are at war with us.
Said this hits differently because Charlie was one of us. And Trump...
Let's see what MTG says. How long ago did he get shot? 2 years. 2 hours now. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? That... Jesus. Yep, that's... That is the video. God, Twitter is such shit. Yeah, I want to see the other ones. Creature of Habit, he's dead. He's dead. There's a closer one? I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to see a closer one. Like I said, I know what it looks like when somebody dies. Like I know. OSINT guys are already posting vids of the apparent shooter. Yep, JH, thank you for $2. It's time to get queer folks to get armed and trained. I've been saying this for years now. Like, as long as I've had a channel. Individual on the roof of the UVU Center before Charlie Kirk was shot. I have no context for where this is in the university. That looks like a perch. I mean, so if that was that, and that's a clear shot right down the main aisle. Individual running across in moments after the shooting. Yep, that person is there. You can see it in the background. Somebody is, look. Right there. The person, God, that's so tiny, but yeah. Thank you very much, Pinky Punk. Good work as always, DD. For my fellow trans people worried, now is a good time to check in with your local community. Stick together, communicate. If you have not gotten to know your local community yesterday is when you should have done this. You need weapons training yesterday. Obsidian M. Stone, thank you for $5. A Womack Ministries made a response to his death. He was to talk at the AWMI's Truth and Liberty Conference tomorrow. Most emotionless response I've ever seen. I would hesitate to. I think it's easy to at this point poke holes in a lot of people's reactions to this. And it is, like shit Matt Walsh saying, like, he never insulted anybody is plainly, purely bullshit. But you also have to understand that as evil and awful as these people are, they're still humans. And they still have friends and family and connections, and they are receiving news that somebody they know, somebody who's a peer, somebody who's a coworker, just got fucking shot on TV. Like, so when people are like, well, I think it's weird that they're reacting this way, and you should go watch. There's a documentary on HBO about the Alex Jones Sandy Hook case, and Noah Posner, I believe the father. I think it was the Posner. One of the things that Alex Jones really hit to be like, oh, this is obviously a false flag, was the fact that he let out a nervous chuckle before a news conference, because he'd never done that before. And that it was the day his daughter died in Sandy Hook. And that led to all of these conspiracies, all this harassment, all this bullshit of people being like, well, why'd you do that? That was so weird. It's like, it's because trauma, shock, pain gets processed differently by different people. Like, that's true. Yeah, Joe Lennox, emotions are weird. So I hesitate to be like, well, it's weird. Like, because the angle that I'm seeing people take already is that, oh, this is a psyop. And I'm not going to fucking jump on that. Like, I'm not going to be like, would it be convenient? Would it be the most convenient thing of all time if it ends up being a trans shooter? Sure. Like, hey, the odds are even between any kind of shooter and any fucking ideology with how bonkers a lot of the shooters and murderers and, like, acts of terror tend to be in America. Like, people forget already. Remember the dude who firebombed his fucking Tesla car at the beginning of the year. That's how long this year has been. The beginning of the year. The guy who firebombed his Tesla with himself inside in front of Trump Tower. And, like, what was the ideology there? You know? I've talked about this so many times, over and over and over and over, that we have created the perfect pressure cooker of divergent ideologies, that people are always looking for more and more answers to the shit going wrong, to the shit putting all of this pressure on them and their family and their material conditions and their ability to live happy, successful lives. They're being prevented from all those things, but then they're also being pulled in all sorts of directions by AI, by algorithms, by different news media figureheads, people like Charlie Kirk, people on the left, people like MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. And so when you have somebody reach a breaking point where they actually break out into violence, it usually is fucking nonsensical. Nonsensical. And you can see that with the like the most recent trans shooter. You could see it with the same kids who were like the incel, the femcel shooter from earlier this year, the black Nazi high school shooter from earlier this year. Go back and look at, I talked about it last year with Justin Moan and the guy who self-immolated outside of Trump's trial, which is one that people fucking just totally forgot. Because it wasn't easy to put a specific label on that one. It was somebody who was like, okay, he did it outside of Trump's trial, but then he handed out flyers that were blaming Bill Clinton, and like it was kind of this amalgam of like Bilderberg Group, Illuminati conspiracy bullshit. And so as we continue to have these systems around us constantly breaking down, as people are able to get less quality health care, as people are able to seek out resources that will help them, even as their lives become more and more unstable through often no fault of their own, you're going to have more and more people who just don't make sense because they don't know how to make sense of it all. Yeah, Carly, this is not a good thing no matter what way you twist it. It is, I think so many people are looking for this kind of momentary catharsis. And I get it. I do. I understand it. Like, it is so annoying to watch these ghouls run the country into the ground every day, to have all of these headlines about how the jobs market fucking sucks, about how you can't find a job, about how you are never going to own a home like the generations before you, and then you literally have the president going out and lying to people, being like, oh no, job numbers are up, all this is good. And then you have these people running interference for that bullshit while also enabling vicious attitudes towards minority groups, towards trans people, towards queer people, towards black people, towards immigrants. Meanwhile, it constantly feels like people like Charlie Kirk are insulated from any kind of social consequences from that, any kind of actual consequences from that. And it doesn't matter the stochastic terror that they wreak on everybody else. It doesn't matter the ideas that they are putting into people's heads on purpose, very intentionally, about who you should fear, who's actually dangerous, who's actually violent, who's coming to get you. As they continue selling their fucking mug clubs and guns and gold sales and all this other bullshit, colloidal silver and whatever any of them sell. Fucking here's a brand of coffee with a gun on it, because we gotta have American man coffee. And so I think a lot of people, like, that's a frustrating just world to live in, because it is a world of constant conflict and strife and struggle, and like these just sub-room temperature IQ high school bullies feel like they have the reins of everything. But I caution people against, pissing on any graves quite yet, taking too much revelry over somebody dying. Because in the grand scheme of things, Charlie Kirk is an important piece of the puzzle, but he's not the only figurehead. There's going to be another Charlie Kirk. Like, him dying does more to advance an agenda that he would have been in support of than it does to stop anything. And any amount of revelry in that death, any amount of memeing, any amount of, haha, it's hollow. And I think everybody kind of knows it. Like, it's hey, okay, it's funny to piss off the conservatives or whatever. It might feel good libidinally. It might feel, get that tickle for your id, to poke fun, to get people riled up and mad online. But at the end of the day, it's just empty. And I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, thank you to everybody who's been joining, by the way. And I think somebody's saying we all know that, but what else are we supposed to do? And I think that's the important thing to keep in context here. Is that, like, what else are we going to do than celebrate? Dark wave. Have you actually heard yourself? Agenda? Mate, what you're saying is a fucking agenda of some sort. The left have just made a martyr, and I'm sure you'll all reap what you sow. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Who do you think is going to take his place? I don't know. Probably somebody. Probably some up and comer. Probably some, like it doesn't really matter. This is the thing I came to in the Jesse Waters video I've been editing today. Is that like there are 24 Jesse Waters. Like there is nothing unique about, I would say, 90% of media personalities in the conservative sphere. There is nothing that they do that nobody else can do. And in fact, for a lot of them, it's simply the fact that they will be brazen and just say the most aggressive, abrasive shit possible to advance their agenda, while other people kind of hand-wring over like, oh, isn't that racist? Isn't that rough? And then you got people like Matt Walsh who will just come out and say shit. And that's how they get followers. The right used to love false flag claims. Yeah, and that's why I am fucking... I'm not doing the false flag shit. I'm not doing the false flag shit. No, fucking Nick Fuentes. We on the podcast recently talked about how fucking miserable he is. Like Nick Fuentes is never breaking through to the fucking mainstream of anything. Yeah, we have like literally no idea who the shooter is, what they wanted, like anything. And here's the thing. If we never find the shooter, I'm going to start getting conspiratorial. I am. Like, that's fucking crazy. If one of the leading, like, that would be fucking crazy. Yeah, Birdie, most mainstream he'll get is being called a weird little gay kid. Like, oh man, I've been meaning to watch the video of Tucker fucking dunking on Nick Fuentes online. Brutal. Because that's what anybody who's not a fucking like groiper still living with their parents, that's what they think of Nick Fuentes. Fired from the Lucy Center. And I believe people were talking about at the beginning that Benny Johnson's going to have a hot take, I'm sure. How there was apparently very lax security at the event. No, Liar Fan, the elderly man or the old white dude who was detained, that there's a photo still going around, was not the shooter. Because they already released him. Jesus Christ. Charlie Kirk, like, again, they have no tact. They cannot fucking wait to just, like, masturbate with Charlie Kirk's fucking blood. They are so hungry for a cause to just keep advancing violence and keep pushing the Overton window. Like, it is so craven to me. Not even 3 hours after the dude is dead, they're like, oh, he's a martyr. It's fucking... Like, they don't even take time. It's ghoulish. And I'm trying to fucking be, like, a little bit amicable. I'm trying to give some of the good old BOTD benefit of the doubt. And It's so hard because they cannot, like, they're not all right. If a person who was a friend of mine, who I said was a brother, like Benny Johnson is saying right here, if they were shot publicly, the first thing I would say is not that they're a martyr. This is a turning point. I would not be saying shit like Matt Walsh being like, we always knew this was going to happen. I would not be saying shit like Jesse Waters being like, you know, whatever the fuck he said about how we're not going to, this is never going to happen again. We need to, this is enough from the left and all this leftist violence and all this shit. Where the fuck, if this guy was such a good friend to you, and I'm not debating that. Any personal relationship they had, whatever. Maybe Charlie Kirk, when he wasn't debating college kids and trying to dunk on children, maybe he was an all right dude. Maybe he was an okay guy to grill with. Doesn't really matter to me. But why not share those memories? Why not talk about, oh, the first time I met him, oh, this happened, or oh, I was really down on my luck. He gave me some great advice. Like, the things that you want, that most people go through life wondering what their legacy will be when they die. Like, how am I going to be remembered? How are people going to think of me? And for it to be reduced to him still being a pawn, for them to continue pushing forward these ideas of, you know, martial laws or whatever the fuck they want. It boggles the mind. Like, it's crazy to me. Here we go. Charlie Kirk is an American martyr, gave his life for God and country. May we rise up with a full heart and defeat the evil. Now, what is the evil, do you think? Because he's not saying it. But again, he kind of doesn't need to. It's going to be the left. Oh, yeah. No, here we go. Here was Charlie Kirk advocating for just yesterday, hey, you should be able to just kill people if you feel threatened. Taco Face Fire, thank you for $5. It's going to be interesting to see MAGA ask for government action on gun control now that the violence is directed at their communities. No, they won't. They won't. They're going to ask for more guns. This is Demons on MSNBC immediately used Charlie Kirk's shooting to attack Trump instead of praying. Most concerned that the Trump administration will use this as justification for something. Demons, truly sickening. You are literally just a couple things up. May we rise up with a full heart and defeat the evil. He was a martyr. You're doing the thing that they're saying you're doing, bro. 100 bits, thank you. They are actually, I think the DOJ was talking about banning guns from trans people. Oh no, they're still floating that idea, I believe. I believe that's, Janda, thank you for subbing with Prime. I believe that's the terminology, was they're floating the idea. All right, who else do we got? We got Dan Bongo. It was just a TPUSA speaking event. If it turns out to be conservative, will they call it a false flag? They will find a way to call it a liberal. Wow. Yeah, really, just wordsmiths, every one of them. Brooklyn Dad Defiant, what are you doing? What are we doing? Um, Axel Ignite just tuning in. Most disturbed this happened within walking distance of my apartment. Any idea what the shooter's motive? Nope. We don't know who the shooter is. They still haven't. The most we've seen is somebody sent a video of there was somebody who was probably the shooter on a roof and then fleeing moments after he was shot. And like that, I mean, yeah, that seems like probably the shooter. And nothing really else doing. I don't know. Really hard to say. Dinesh is boring. Jim Jordan's boring. Yeah, let's see what Lauren Boebert has to say. This fucking psychopath. Oh no, we need to find out what the third wheeler Nancy Mace says. America looks different. Boldly march forward. What Satan meant for evil, God will use for work. I would be so pissed off if this is how my death was. Okay, let me read that quote. Myself and others will not be silenced nor back down. We will boldly march forward into the victory that belongs to us. What Satan meant for evil, God will use for work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Incredible. There's so many fucking crazy people running the government. It cannot be overstated. Praying for my good friend, Charlie Kirk. Open dialogue for the good of our nation. No, he literally didn't, dude. God. I can't. She's literally being like, we need to pray that God protects Charlie from a bullet. America saw a miracle after Trump was shot because we as a nation were praying, covering a protection over him before he was ever shot in Butler. So, again, the narrative just like, okay, fuck the dude who was shot, the family man standing behind him who did die. America needs to see another miracle from all of us praying for Charlie after what looked unsurvivable. Well, she should have fucking prayed before, I guess. Yeah, what's Nancy Mace doing? Oh, that tweet was after he was confirmed dead? Great, Marjorie. Great. Charlie was. One of the most brilliant debaters of our time. Devastating. That's I can't even. I'm still having a fucking. No, he's dead, Axel. He's been dead for a minute now. Yeah, I probably won't talk about Nepal here. This is kind of one of those streams where it's just going to be a one topic issue, but let me see if we can look more at this, see if we can get another thing. I kind of want to see whose take haven't we seen that, I don't know. Like, usually Charlie is one of the people that I go to when the shit happens. That's crazy. No, not InfoWars. What is it? It's and video. Oh, well, no, Dennis Prager's been out of commish for a minute. I don't know what Dennis Prager's been up to. What's Ben Shapoople saying? Let me look. Trending with Jesus and the left. Great. Rad. Love that for us. Real Alex Jones, yep. Yeah, let's go see real Alex Jones. Enrique Tarrio? Oh, yeah, I fucking bet Enrique Tarrio. Oh boy. That's rough. This is why they killed Charlie Kirk.
Peace, prosperity, rising wages, stable families, church attendance, and happy people. Happy people, grateful people do not get behind Vladimir Lenin, and they certainly don't get behind Chavez or Castro.
That's right.
People that own nothing, that feel like their property is diminishing, or they don't have property, or their dollar is diminishing in value, they start to look for alternatives.
Oh, no shit? No shit? How's the economy doing, dude? Right, here we go.
I just got a call 5 minutes ago from a very trusted source who's never been wrong, connected to three-letter agency.
God, he's so wrinkly.
Very close to people that were on the ground there when Charlie Kirk was shot in Utah today. And he died a long time ago. So he's dead. And I got a call saying, where are you getting your info? He might be alive. And I said, I'm getting off the news. They said, no, he's dead. That's directly from people on the ground. I'll leave it at that. Very close to Charlie. So they killed him.
They killed him.
The left killed him.
The left.
And I get the family and others are probably thinking of what they're going to say or what they're going to do. But you see that footage. They say clearly from the report, the rifle and all the rest of it, high-powered rifle. They said because the reason his chest lifts up is just the effect that the bullet high speed creates by hitting him in the neck. And Charlie's dead. But if the left thinks this is going to intimidate us to shut up, they got nothing coming. Charlie was out there at the campuses getting millions of young people to vote for Trump. And the left cannot allow this. And John Podesta's plan was if Trump got reelected to launch a civil war. So it's live now.
And it seems like the next one down is going to be the shooting, so we're not going to watch that. See, Nadra Galves. I want to just see if that's real. That's the same name. All right, so the person who Alex Jones was saying changed their username, which is fucking smart to do. That's going to be fucking rough, y'all. Man, that's going to be fucking rough. This is the person who changed their username. That looks like a picture of Charlie Kirk burning in hell, is what I think they're going for here. Somebody with a they/them username who Alex Jones is spreading said a couple days ago, hey, Charlie Kirk is coming to my school tomorrow. Somebody should vaporize him. And then saying this. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. Okay, so it was a 17-year-old. You don't think a political assassin would post it? I don't put anything past it, but also this is probably going to be circulated even more in terms of fucking like how look, this is what like they did this. Enrique Tario. Oh, he's live. Of course he is. they're so mad. Fuck off. Charlie Kirk assassinated. Patriot fucking Rob. Harrison Smith. Nazi piece of shit from InfoWars. Rad. What the fuck is Fed posting? Fed posting is anything that will get you in trouble if a federal agent is watching my stream. What is Fed posting in this case? I would say anything that is praising the death of Charlie Kirk. What a Wednesday. Oh, it's been what a week. Oh, there's Merrick. I think that's Merrick. No, it's America. Never mind. Gross. Okay.
Thinking out loud real quick. Like, I shoot thousands of rounds a year, and I'm mid at best. I'm in multiple hunting camps and everything like that. And during lunch and everything, we'll put quarters out on a fence post about 200 yards, and we've all smoked and drinking and grilling out. And every one-eyed retard can come close to that quarter.
Well,
so,
that's right.
I mean, I just don't know about like the trained assassin angle or whatever, but that's just me thinking out loud or whatever. Because 200 yards just doesn't seem like a real long shot to me.
Well, listen, I'm looking at this from years and years and years. We got breaking news, I guess. Multiple students have been shot at Evergreen High School in Colorado. Sheriff confirms victims transported to the hospital.
Great. Fucking picking up, finger on the pulse right there. Crazy. We talked about that I feel like an hour ago now.
It kind of goes to what you're saying is protect yourselves now.
Goes to what you're saying. Protect yourselves now. Not we need less fucking guns.
I posted something. I think it was last week. I don't know. Most people don't go deep into people's unless they're trying to find the fucking gotcha moment. But they don't go into people's. But if I can find it, I'm going to repost it. I put up there's a map that came out, and New Hampshire is the only state that has no laws against carrying
misinformation
in school. Like parents can carry in school.
He's sharing the fucking Etsy Witches story like it's true. Oh my god.
I'm just saying. I know, Penn, and I appreciate it. Everybody that's trying to keep me calm, thank you. I do appreciate it, but now's
stopped by people that are carrying. And we all know that, right? It's 80% that gets stopped by somebody that is in
80%. Okay. I guess Noble One. I guess is he live? Where's he live? Oh, he's streaming. Rad. Patriot Rob, head shitlord Warboy Studios.
Yes.
Okay.
God,
sorry about that.
You weren't missed.
Yeah, I'm sure I was.
You guys, I'm gonna drop down. I want to say thank you, Rob, for letting me come up.
No problem.
I just met the man a month and a half ago, and I am very sorry about him. So I'm gonna suffer a little bit here, but thank you for letting me come up and speak, you guys. Like I said to the space earlier, he was a God-fearing man. I could feel it in his handshake, and a sweet, sweet man.
Oh no, I'm sure that they will be calling Democrats demons, and they more people will be blaming. The Etsy thing is a goof right now, but more people are going to be talking about it as if it's a serious threat.
God-fearing man, and like you guys all say, it was a
we had a sitting representative talking about how
Reno,
they protected Trump with a dome of prayer.
Man. Listen, pray, hold your kids tight today, man. That's all I can say.
Hey, I just want to say real quick, as far as how we should think about Charlie now that he's gone, to me, it doesn't matter if he was a good guy, a guy I agree with, or a bad guy, or whatever. He's a human being who didn't deserve to be shot for his political beliefs, and we all need to really feel like understand this. Like, whether you agree with Charlie or you don't.
Somehow I feel they would not extend that same courtesy to literally any other person, to literally any other political identity or contingent. Like the idea that it's like, hey, you know, we're gonna be like, I've been saying that, but with the full knowledge that that's not at all what they would fucking say. Also, he just a amazing job. They still have the stream starting soon background there, so great.
And I don't. Nobody deserves to be shot for just speaking, up for what he thinks, even if what you think you think
no, like
what he says
these from the same
is
people who are
aberrant
still making
or
George
whatever.
Floyd jokes.
That's not a reason to hurt somebody, and anybody who ever
like and this
decides
is,
to you know,
again, it's this fucking like it's a LARP to so many of these people. It's just a game where it's like, you know, it's like play fighting, where they'll talk shit about like, oh yeah, the Democrats need to do this, and we need to bring law and order back. We need to bring back the death penalty. Everybody should be armed, and good guys with a gun kill people, and it's just like the Wild West, and pew pew, and everybody should have guns, and yeehaw. And then the second some shit actually happens, they're like, what the fuck? Why'd you actually hit me? What, you actually hit somebody? What the fuck? It's just like you've created this world for people to live in, and you have to live in it too. And that fucking sucks.
Hurt somebody for their political belief.
There's a gag in the new Naked Gun movie where it's like this climactic final battle with the bad guy, and they go to like fight each other, and Liam Neeson just sucker punches him right in the gut, and the dude just like doubles over and is like, what the fuck, you actually hit me? And Liam Neeson's like, yeah, do you know how to fight? And that's kind of what this feels like.
Just needs to
take
stop
a breath
the
gunfight. Someone
like,
got hit.
What am I doing with my life? What am I doing
Michelle,
with myself?
Marty, I'm so scared right now.
If you aim a firearm at somebody because you don't like what they're saying, I mean, that's I don't know what could be more
all I can say is be prepared.
So whoever did this, again, I can't stress this enough, needs to be brought to justice, and I hope to hell that they catch this asshole. You know what I mean? Because it's just, this is unacceptable that it's even gone on this long. So yeah, sorry.
Hey Reno. Yeah, I saw that, dude. And listen, I have alternate theories on this. I'm just talking about somebody from a perspective that somebody who's had years and years and years in the game, dude. It does not look like, I don't know. Information's too fucking, but it definitely doesn't. I see the dude on the roof. I absolutely see it. I watched the video just now too, and
facts.
And this is why I don't want to be on the false flag shit, because then I'm in league with these dipshits. I don't see
it being a rifle. But you know, they did say that you know, all the kids at Sandy Hook were shot with a AR-15, and you know, the police chief came out and said no, they found it in the car, that all those kids and the adults were killed with handguns, 9mm. But they said it was an AR-15 just so that they can push their anti-gun fucking narrative.
Oh my god.
Who do we have?
We have Real Josh from Mercedes.
Oh, I see Delta Kilo up here. We're gonna go to him after Josh, if he wants to talk.
Delta Kilo. All right, this stuff makes me sad, actually.
Roger.
All right, Rob, good to talk to you. Wish it was under different circumstances. Obviously, we'll keep on doing the back and forth. I got some notes, a little bit of philosophy I'd like to share. Probably would have been more appropriate earlier in the conversation, but it's linear, and if anybody needs to stop me, that's fine. Thinking about...
What the fuck just happened? They just lost one, dude. This is a fucking shit show, man. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else. I wouldn't expect anything else from Enrique Tarrio. I would have been Jesus fucking Christ, dude. These are the people. I'm not even gonna say that. That's fucking crazy to goddamn say. Like, what a God piece of shit. Yeah, let's see what Harrison Smith, the illustrious info warrior. Christ, he has almost over 150,000 followers. Oh, much to think about. Damn. Okay, Chase Geyser is saying, is that a slur? It feels like a slur. I'm not going to name names. I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. Man. And it's him just being xenophobic against Muslims. Swap Pesto, do you think what happened is good? No. I just went on a whole fucking thing about it. Like there is literally nothing good outside of brief moments of libidinal pleasure people will get at seeing their political opposition die. A brief, fleeting, completely useless moment that does nothing for you, does nothing for your community, does nothing to actually help other people. And I need people to kind of sit and realize and stew in that feeling. Not the feeling of taking pleasure in the death of somebody else, but in understanding why you have that urge, and also to resist it. FBI saying suspect now in custody. Do you have a link? Oh yeah, let's go see what the actual fucking Nazi Stu Peters, #1 selling children's book author. It's really fun to be white. Thanks, Elon. This dude has over 800,000 followers. Cash said they got the guy. I do not feel... Of course, the old white guy was not the gunman. Oh, yeah, Jack Posobiec, another fucking ghoul. It's funny that, again, all these people fucking hated Charlie Kirk's guts up until about 2 seconds ago because he was such a stalwart advocate for Israel. Yeah, mass shooting, major assassination in Poland, getting attacked within 24 hours. The subject? So he misspelled it, and that's what autocorrect said. This is what happens when you tweet national news from your fucking phone, bro. Scared Crow, I really don't see this as a major turning point. We've been seeing unprecedented shit like this all year. Oh, yeah. Like, and I agree with that. I don't think he's, like I said, like, there can be any number of Charlie Kirks. Like, the effect if Charlie Kirk died, of Charlie Kirk dying would be the same as if any other, like, fairly mainstream conservative commentator had died. It would be weaponized the same way. And I think right now everybody's looking for a direction to go in. Like, the Nazis are obviously going anti-Israel because that's their thing. They just play those hits. The mainstream are trying to figure out, like, okay, is it trans? Is it an immigration thing? And I think that's going to be contingent on whatever people like Kash Patel says next. Kash Patel and Bongino. Thank you, local state authorities. For Charlie Kirk, when was this? 2:21. Okay, so this was 9 minutes ago. Provide updates when able. Yeah. All right, Jack Poso for Charlie. Oh, he's just posting old clips. Human events. Real America's voice.
In Utah, where Charlie is giving his speech today. He was giving in one of his on-campus events. It does look as though there's been a security incident. As everybody knows, we work very closely with Charlie here on this program. We are already in contact and working on getting even further contact with people who are on the ground. We're getting in contact with people that we've already been in contact with, at least one person who's been on the scene. I just want to tell everybody right now, stay frosty. Let's wait until we get any confirmation as to what exactly happened during this incident with Charlie Kirk on campus in Utah. And we're working around the clock. I've got folks that are directly at Charlie Kirk's studio back home. So we're working.
All right. Andy Ngo. Incredible. Lady, hey, stop. Don't knock over the camera. Goof ass dog. It's so fucking funny how they repost all this shit like it's themselves. Been murdered by a gunshot. That's some fascinating passive voice. Murdered by a gunshot is crazy. Leftists, liberals, and trans activists on social media are celebrating the murder. I love my favorite part about Andy Ngo's journalism is the way he picks fucking like accounts nobody has ever heard of on Twitter and is like, this is representative of all leftists. AP News says they have a suspect in custody. Oh boy. Maybe the evils he gave his life fighting against. Jesus Christ. Chris Pratt. Oh my God, dude. Fucking washed. Absolutely washed. Trans and far left extremists. So funny. Who is Ann Coulter? Ann Coulter doing the Substack grift is so fitting. Join Ann Coulter's Substack. That girl does not have a fucking media team. Oh no, honey. That's rough. That's rough. That is a tweet. That is a way you can express an emotion about somebody dying. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. That's fucking crazy. That is OMG is Phyrexia 322. Thank you for following. I just saw the word Phyrexia and I was like, the elites tried to silence. Okay. Epic failure for security. Just, these are not serious people. Like, it's not, none of this shit is real to them. It's fucking... He didn't create violence. Is this what it feels like to hear MLK was dead? No. The rage in me right now is worse than on 9/11. How much more are we gonna take? The hate of the left has no bounds. The word evil is trending in politics. Let's see who are they calling evil? I wonder. Shooter in custody 9 minutes ago. I think this is AP. Yeah, AP. FBI says shooter in custody. So they're just reporting on what the FBI is saying. Or what Cash Patel is saying. Did they? Wife, 2 young friends and children. Yeah, and that's Gabby Gifford, who was shot in the fucking head in a political shooting way back in the day. Lady. Trump ally shot dead. Charlie Kirk says gun death's unfortunately worth it to keep Second Amendment. Like honestly, that's the only thing you need to fucking show. Like that's it. That's the whole ballgame. The death of women and children in Gaza are the fault of Hamas, not Israel, just like the deaths in Japan during World War II were the fault of Japan, not America. When a government engages in unprovoked murderous aggression, they are to blame for everything that results. Wow, dude. Christ. Ranged Plol, thank you for following. Shiloh Liberty. Are we doing? I want the God. The algorithm is so cooked. These people are. Oh, Nick Sortor. Hell yeah, Nick.
Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously has, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it. I know they seem to have somebody in custody. But I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And
I love how much they have to like warp and twist this to the point where I guarantee the people seeing this don't actually watch what's happening. Like they don't actually watch this video where he says political violence has got to stop. It's a widespread issue, and they're just like, it said something against Trump. The left is so evil, hateful, and evil. The left do not want debate and discussion. No, actually, the left want debate and discussion probably too much, if I'm being honest. Violent political assault. American people are evil. Oh, Joe Rogan. Hell yeah. What is Joe Rogan saying?
That gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
And yeah, probably a bit too much. Well, that's not Joe Rogan. That was just a news account. Rad. Yeah. Blood is on your hand. Just, man. Ooh, yeah. What's DC Drano? FBI says they have a new set. Kash Patel? We will finish where Charlie left off. God, they're just like, they're hungry. They're hungry for a martyr. I didn't fucking realize it. He was assassinated for trying to save American freedom. Damaged our nation forever. Unleash historic consequences. No, they want the Reichstag fire. Like I feel like they've been champing at the bit. They're just like, okay, do we get to do a Reichstag fire now? Do we get to do it now? Do we get to do the pogroms now? Like they are just so eager at any. They cannot even fucking grieve one of their own. And like, honestly, it's kind of why I don't think a lot of these things, like the big balls thing, are like actual psyops or whatever. Because if they were, I feel like they would have fucking moved the window forward a little bit. No, they want genocide. Provide updates. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I saw that Netanyahu sent him thoughts and prayers, which is, you know, whatever. All right, give me 1 second. All right. I think, I don't know if he was beefing with other right wing. I think you might be thinking of Tucker. No. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Groyper or some... Like, again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of these weird deep internet freaks who, like, are just going around to cause carnage and give more ideological ammunition to the right wing.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posting on X, please pray. Everyone's prayers going up right now for Charlie Kirk, I'm joined by senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich, reporting live from the North Lawn. Jackie, welcome. What can you tell us from the White House today?
Yeah, Martha, I just got this from a White House official. I'm told the Situation Room and the National Security Advisor, Marco Rubio, who's also serving as the Secretary of State, are both actively engaged. They're monitoring this situation, and they are in contact with state officials. So you've got the Situation Room here and Rubio looking actively into what is going on, receiving updates, and I've also inquired anything they know about the suspect or his condition. I haven't heard
like it wasn't
anything
meant
on
to
that
be
yet.
a mass shooting. It was
But
a
I did
targeted
go up
shooting.
to Upper Press immediately when this news broke to see if anything was coming out on this, and I was told that it had just happened, and everyone was in the Oval Office. I was told we'd have an update soon from the president, and he did put that out. He posted on Truth Social, "We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom.
Oh, it won't cause.
God
It's not going
bless
to
him."
cause
Now,
gun
remember,
control.
Charlie Kirk, who leads Turning Point USA, did a lot of work in support of the president's re-election campaign. Turning Point USA obviously engages young voters, conservative voters, and President Trump in this election really turned the tide among that demographic, which is historically an unreliable voting bloc, and turned out young voters. Charlie Kirk played a huge role in that. He was active in support of the president on the campaign trail and is obviously beloved by a lot of people here. We've seen well wishes
Space
coming
Bunny, this
out
is
from
an
everybody,
assassination.
from the president to the vice president, the Secretary of War, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, everyone here just awaiting updates on his condition, and also looking into actively who perpetrated this. So we'll bring you any other news that we have, but the breaking news from here is that the Situation Room and the National Security Advisor are monitoring this. Martha.
Jackie, thank you very much. The video that you're seeing right now on the right-hand side of your screen is people scattering, which is understandable after this shot rang out. We're told that it was one shot, but of course that is something that could change as we get more information on this too. But you can see the perspective here. I mean, it's just chilling, really. I mean, you watch all these people spreading out, and because, you know, we've had so many of these sorts of incidents, and people see, you know, school shootings and the like. This feels like something different. This feels like a very targeted attack in this case. But
oh, no
the
shit.
Scattering is what you would expect as people run for shelter and safety in this
he's
situation.
dead. Yeah,
Pam
he's
Bondi,
confirmed
as you
dead.
can see on the bottom of your screen, about this shooting, the Attorney General of the United States saying that FBI agents are on the way. You can bet that this entire area will be secured as they begin an investigation into the direction of this bullet, where it was fired from.
Yeah, okay, so Kash Patel. Let's see. Glinner, Jesus Christ. Graham, dog. They couldn't beat him in debate, so they shot him. Graham Linehan, look, we haven't talked about it yet on stream, but I have a little stream planned. You have enough shit that you're bringing down on your head already, Graham. You don't need to wade into this. We're good. We're good. We're good. Fucking crazy. Oh, I forgot about the loom. Oh, it's time for the Trump admin to shut down, defund, and prosecute every single leftist organization. Christ. The left is a national security threat. See, there you go. That's what we're doing. It was so funny how I was recently listening to an episode of Knowledge Fight that I hadn't listened to in a while, where Amanda Moore, friend of the show, Amanda Moore, was being interviewed, and I was like, oh yeah, I know Amanda, because Amanda and I hung out on when I was in D.C. because I met her at CPAC last year. And Amanda is a very curt, I think implies rude, but she's a very direct person. And she will tell you what she means very, very bluntly, very simply. And it's so funny now, every time I hear about Laura Loomer, I just hear Amanda being like, oh yeah, total bitch. Like, absolute bitch. Because Amanda has actually met Laura, so that's very funny to me. Also weird to consider that I have like 1 degree of separation from Laura Loomer. I don't like that. That's no good for me. Ooh, the Respect the Dead is going to be so good. If y'all don't follow Hoots and Kaylin's podcast, Respect the Dead, go do that. Ugh. Friend of the show, also friends of the show. Investigative journalist, founder of Illumered. I'm canceling tonight's episode of Loomer Unleashed. Whoa, dude. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. You don't... Okay. One of the other things that I think is notable is their focus on violence. Like, they have such a... Like, such a focus, such a preoccupation on the violence of what happened. And I think it's a kind of sick fixation. It's not surprising, but it is... There's something, it's the same thing Alex Jones does, where if you listen sometimes, he'll just go on these long tangents, disgustingly discussing, like, violent acts and blood spewing and stabbing. It's just like, what the fuck, like, what the fuck is wrong with your brain, dude? Political violence fueled by the radical left. Dark times in America. This was a... God, Laura, she's just always so on top of it. Always on the cutting edge. Always with the investigative journalism. Like, you can tell she's an investigative journalist and that she's investigating by the fact that she sees a major event happening, doesn't have any sources or proof, and just makes assertions. That's the mark of a really good journalist. It's all in the... Oh, it's all in the hunches. It is. Lloydie, thank you for 200 yen. Good guy with a gun. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, I mean, I guess a good guy with a gun wasn't there to stop it, so maybe who knows? Maybe he still would have been there. Joe Lennox, thank you for 5. Think of it this way: Laura Loomer is 1 degree of separation from you, and that would haunt them forever to know. Ooh, yeah, it would. Ooh, yeah, it would. Right before Charlie Kirk was shot on Utah campus, trans activists shouted at him, holding a sign about judgment. Second later, he was shot. It's like, yeah, dude. Like, people were probably also yelling at him about his shitty opinions on immigrant rights. People were also asking about gang violence. Like, the dude had a lot of shitty opinions and pissed off a lot of people. The idea of somebody holding up a sign is not... Whatever. That's enough. That's enough proof for them. Like, it's obvious. Mark them down on the suspect list. Put them on the corkboard. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, Kat, I know how much. Hey, I know the yen conversion, okay? I looked into buying Godzilla toys once from Japan. Continue cracking down on the left. Jail every single leftist who makes a threat of political violence. Do you think she reserves the same sentiment for right-wingers? Probably not. Probably not. It's just the left. Live among us in society. If they threaten you over political views, you should be jailed for 25 years or more. Fuck, man. Fuck, man. She is on one today. Charlie Kirk wasn't even controversial. He was moderate. This laundering of Charlie Kirk to be like this, oh, he's just a reasonable moderate, is such, like, of course it's going to happen. They aren't going to talk about the times that he just advocates for ethno-states or talks about, like, how evil Muslims and Islam are and how certain people just aren't meant to mix with other people and how, like, all of the heinous shit. They're just going to be like, no, he just said that, like, why do you want to kill the guy that just said that you should have kids? It's like, dog, come on. Come on. I mean, they'll buy it. They'll buy the shit that they're fucking selling to each other. They sent a trained sniper to assassinate Charlie Kirk while he was sitting next to a table of hats that said 47. You could be next. I hate to say it, but I have a sick feeling we'll be seeing more targeted assassination. From the great mind of a investigative journalist. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is dead. They'll discuss the political ideology, who responded in good taste and in bad. They'll discuss if video games or SSRIs are to blame. The only thing they won't discuss is the obvious way to stop it from happening again. Many such cases. Charlie Kirk called me a lunatic and a prostitute and demanded I be deported. Nothing justifies killing him or robbing his kids of their dad. We don't know the identity or motive of the shooter, but murder can never be the response to political disagreements. Yeah. One of my favorite things whenever anything like this happens is every, like, couch Call of Duty operator has a theory on, like, well, is this were they trained? There's no way a shooter could make this trained shot, or without training. There's no way. Oh, it's like, no, actually, this is a super easy shot, so anybody could have done this. And no, they were black ops. And like, it's like everybody becomes a fucking operator. Charlie Kirk. That's a little funny. Sorry. Yeah, I need more Jesus, Eli. Woo. That's a spicy meatball. Italian hands in here? I don't know. Is that a person? Yeah, no, Holocaust. I've been saying, don't look at the tweet, or don't look at the video. Thank you very much for gifting a sub, Jade 1212. Thank you for gifting 2 subbies. I just Mad Maxine collecting. Thank you for 5. All I see as a European is another problem got Luigi'd. I mean, it's going to be a lot more both complicated and straightforward here, but it's not going to be the thing about Luigi is I think it revealed an ideological similarity between the right and the left. Which is why I think so many of the rich and powerful people who run the country really wanted it to go away, and for please stop thinking and talking about how you actually all agree on who is making the material conditions of your life worse, who these people are actually fucking over. We need you to not be thinking about that. Whereas this is, only furthering that ideological divide that has continued to surface. Thank you, Lloydie, again. Not celebrating, not losing sleep either. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Do we have a reason why they thought this old dude was? Wait. Hang on. 2 minutes ago. This appears to be the Charlie Kirk shooter. Thank you, $5, Marmot King. When was this? This was 156. So this was a while ago. Again, that's not the rifle. That's an air brake rifle and silencer on the barrel. It's him. It's bleak, y'all. And I'm going to be so real, it's bleak. I haven't seen this one being passed around, so I'm going to assume this is probably not the dude. Because this also isn't the guy that was arrested before. This is a new person that's been put in custody. Person of interest. Investigation ongoing. Keckard Dane, thank you for $10. No tears shed over a long-time grifter called empathy, new age bullshit, but definitely wary of blowback from the right. They do it anyways, but this might get copycat violence. That's a big part of the thing I'm like trying to process. That's an old white dude. I think somebody said that it, like, he might have just been a homeless guy. I don't know. Yeah, it's a different old white dude to the first one they arrested with bags, green bags. Those look like dog poop bags. And there's a rifle. Okay, that doesn't look like a... I saw somebody call it an air rifle. Do we have a... I mean, silencers do not actually silence shots. It's not like in movies. Huawei, thank you for 18 months. Do you think the martyr effect is still a powerful thing? There seem to be so many shootings with things being forgotten pretty fast. I think it will be. Yeah. I think this is the most high profile shooting assassination I've seen maybe in my lifetime. Like I'm trying to think of another blatant broad daylight killing of anybody with as big of a platform as, like, this is somebody who had proximity to the president. Shinzo Abe. Yeah, probably Shinzo Abe. I mean, Shinzo, obviously, but that was also Japan. That wasn't here. And the doohickey, yeah. Do we... Air rifles don't always mean pellets? Yeah, Shinzo was also a former prime minister. .308 rifle silenced with normal and subsonic ammo. All right. Is that what y'all think it's a .308? Oh yeah, it's not that fucking big. Look at that thing. It ain't.
Boys and girls, we have Mike with standard .308 suppressed.
Sorry.
Pretty quiet. Now we have Mike with 200 grain subsonic .308 suppressed.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty quiet in the grand scheme of things.
He cocked 45.
The barrel and suppressor, yeah, it still looks like a toy to me, is the thing. Like, it just looks light. Jesus. Alleged shooter. shared the video. I don't have it, but you're just sharing shit about. God damn it! I like. The thing that really gets me is the fucking like there is no time for like actually mourning a person. They are all too eager to start just violence in the street. Person of interest in custody. Oh, do they have the name? Crazy using trending topics as tags is fucking nuts. Ask Grok who it was. I will not. What? That's not. Nope, not what I wanted. Also not what I wanted. Jesus Christ. That's not. This person interesting custody. That's not helpful. I want to know this person up here who is like, oh, this is the Charlie Kirk shooter, Michael Mallinson. Okay, well that's. I don't know anything about it. Jesus Christ. The amount of people rely on AI and shit right now is fucking crazy to me. What? I don't. All right. Oh, it's from Hindustan Times. Great. That's where you're getting your. Fox 11 Reno, which posted a registered Democrat alongside a photo of an elderly man. Neither name has been confirmed by authorities. Has not been. So this, it was the dude who got let go. You fucking morons! Oh my god. Ugh. The word karma is trending. That's great. That would be fucking nuts. Yeah, we don't have anything else really. Oh God, which edgelord still? I'm sure some intensely unfunny dipshit is doing the Sam Hyde bit. I am sure there's somebody who still think that's so funny. Oh. Is he the shooter or not? Oh, so Brian Krasenstein is sharing this shit. Was Charlie Kirk racist? Yeah, he was pretty fucking racist. Sam Hyde is an internet Nazi pedophile who's worshipped by 4chaners and like just fucking losers. And they think it's a fun bit every time there's a mass shooting to post pictures of him with guns saying he's the shooter. All right. Alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk just arrested. All right, let's see. This person has a closer look at the gun. I don't know about an air rifle. And that looks like a hunting rifle. I think seeing it up close, the wood stock looks fake when you see it. Like I think when it's a little bit fuzzy, the texture makes it look like a toy. But the wood stock, like that looks like a polished wood stock. Trans Girl Lily, thank you for following. And like, hey, if you are going to 22 is enough. 22 is enough. The symbol on the bottom of the stock is unique. Don't look at the wood, look at the bolt. I can't make out the detail from there. You see a Ruger logo? Is that down there? On the base? Because I think when it's being held here, I think the stock is twisted and the trigger is towards the camera, so it makes it look like thin and compact and tiny. Of course it was a rifle. God, people are such dicks. Hi, Q Hamster. Thank you for following.
So let me just say this. There was that early report of that one individual that they grabbed and they had on his knees, and he was saying, I don't want to talk. And that went out viral as, okay, here's the shooter. That didn't ring true for me because I thought, I mean, we've all seen the video. That is almost certainly a high-powered round. The school reportedly is saying that the shot came from 200 yards away. If that had been somebody who was in the crowd up front near the stage, you would have seen a long gun, because that is a long gun round from what I can see. I'm not a ballistic expert and I wasn't there. But again, from what I can glean, it argues to me that the person they grabbed in front of the stage, since we have not seen
Looks
any
like
images
a
of a long
Remington
gun
597.
there, it argues to me that the actual shooter is someplace off the set that is not someplace entirely visible, because I'd imagine a lot of people had their phones out. They were taking video. So we know that right now the shooter appears to be unapprehended. The person that they did grab might be involved, might not. We don't know. But that was not a handgun round. Now, the bullet that did hit Charlie, God bless him, is right now a vital clue, along with all the stuff we always talk about, the video, doing some digital forensics, etc.
Why is it so
But
tiny?
the round is going to tell you a lot,
tiny?
and it'll tell you likely how
Oh,
far
there
away
it
it
is.
came from, and what kind of rifle was used, and that's going to be a node that they're going to exploit. But I would say this: if you were there, and I'm sure the police are saying this, if you were there or anywhere near it, and you
that's a
have
22.
video, do not hesitate, no matter how.
It was not a Magnum round. If it was a Magnum round, that's like, it's missing the bulge at the end. I mean, that's the silencer. The silencer goes on the barrel. If it was the Magnum round, it would have looked like that scene from Scanners. All right, yeah, I don't. Was Charlie Kirk about to go public with something? What is Trump going to do? Honestly, I would be surprised. I would be surprised if they do anything in the next couple days. But, okay, no. I don't want to say surprised because I don't know what would legitimately surprise me, because it wouldn't be this. Is Charlie Kirk dead? Sure is. Sure fucking is. Okay. Here we go. We have some suspect talk.
The only information we have on the suspect, the possible shooter, is taken from closed circuit TV here on campus. We do have that. We're analyzing it, but it is security camera footage, so you can kind of guess what the quality of that is. But we do know dressed in all dark clothing, but we don't have a much better description other than that.
Well, and so that guy who was in the video was not dressed in all dark clothing, but also, I think you should temper yourself as far as analyzing that aspect of it, because even if he's not dressed in all dark clothing, that doesn't mean much of anything. Oh my gosh, thank you very much for 20 JHRBs. JTR BSL.
Posting that a suspect is in custody. I would just like clarification. Do you or do you not have a suspected shooter in custody?
We have a person of interest in custody that is being interviewed right now.
That is not George Zinn.
That is not George Zinn. Okay. That is correct. With that, we're happy to take a few questions.
The FBI director is
posting... This is a fucking rough day for them. Oof, have Asmund to... I mean, like, Asmund would probably be streaming about it. Alright, give me 1 second. Cat is screaming at me for food. I'm sure it'll be some fucking dumbass half-brain take. Oh, there we go. Yep. What did I say? We know nothing about the suspect right now. Nothing. Anyone shocked? Yeah, no, he has an absolutely half-hearted, like, nothing fucking burger take. Like, it's like, unless it's addressed for what it is. Okay, well, he's not going to say what it actually is because he's just fucking parroting some other shit. He doesn't actually have a read on this. He doesn't have any analysis outside of like, well, yeah, there's like, you go online and there's political violence. Like, of course this is going to happen. We need to address the, like, what? Okay, well, what's your fucking solution, dude? King dipshit of Asshole Mountain. All right, give me 1 second. All right, chat. I'm going to go check Cash one more time. Or Charlie. Things are getting out of hand with the left. Fuck, man. 129,000 followers. I don't, again, like, part of the fascinating aspect of this, and I'm talking about, you know, fascinating in a morbid, like in a historical sense. When was the last time there was a kind of mass violence event like this? And I guess it, you know, it's not technically a mass shooting, but it is a, you know, concentrated act of violence on a massive public stage. When was the last time there was an event like this where the shooter got away for any amount of time? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not over. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen in the next fucking couple days. But it is, there are so many things about this that are so fucking bizarre to me that, like, literally every day. No, I'm talking about somebody killing a major public figure in a coordinated event and then dipping. No, well, Luigi, yeah, okay, you know what, Luigi, it took a while for them to find Luigi. No, you're right, you're right. Were they acting alone? Are there more targets to come? I wouldn't say so. Yeah, I'm also not 100% convinced that Luigi's the guy myself. Yep, there we go. There's the Sam Hyde joke. They did Dankus Mimas 420 did the fucking bit. It's about the level of innovation I'd expect from Dankus Mimas. Europa Apparel. Shared European identity. Christ, man. Again, it's one of those things where if you ever go into Matt Walsh's comment section, you'll see so many like legitimate Nazis. You see a lot of the same shit bubbling to the surface right now. Much to think about. Much to think about. Yeah, we got nothing else. So people's brains are so fucking cooked, and it's so depressing to see. Like, it really is. every damn time. They do. Like this just, all this shit. No, I saw Awesome Stella. Alrighty, chat. I have to go. My partner just got off work at her new job. I have to go get food. That's probably not a great. Yeah, we're gonna go say hi to friend of the show, Liv Agar. Go like, subscribe, bring good Dead Domain vibes. Stay tuned to the channel. We got videos coming out and all that stuff. And I hope y'all have a